that's something that is a problem because even those notifications that we get, it's on your phone, and someone also said you have to sign up for it. If you don't know of it to sign up for it, if you're not aware of it, you didn't sign up for it, so you would not get the notice. And a lot of people do not know that they need to sign up for these things. They know these are private owned companies that actually send it, or cities have different situations set up where you can sign up for it. But every city and every county is not the same. So everybody will not get the notice at the same time. The way in this situation, if everybody knew this was happening, they could probably move. But they did. Somebody just read another county got information way before Kirk County. Everywhere did not get the same information at the same time. Sometimes I can hear the tornado warnings in another town, and that's how I know a tornado is coming. But in my town, we won't get the notice, and like someone said, until you damn near in the middle of the storm. Like, holy shit! But you heard this sound in the background, like it's vague, and you be like, you hear that noise? And we say Texas, people that know each other, we say, did you hear that noise? Did you hear the tornado warnings? Be careful, get inside. But we don't get the actual notice of the town until too late.
Oh, you're not gonna get any pushback from me about that card. That card's a bunch of piece of shits. Prior to the big storm that we had in Texas, which is a privately held company, that company actually tied West Texas into that card, and they created a monopoly out here in West Texas. But the entire time that you guys were out of electricity, the entire time we were running on solar and wind, and we never lost power. I think I lost power in the entire 2 weeks for about maybe 30 to 45 minutes, and everybody else was out of power for the entire 2 weeks. So that card can get fucked. I hate that company.
So just so y'all know too, with a lot of this weather, especially in Texas during Hurricane Harvey, it wasn't just the fact that the weather came in and it was raining bad. The storm came in and sat on top of us. You know what I'm saying? Like it just came and just stayed. It didn't move at all. It just kind of stayed where it was at. And I don't know if that happened in Kirkville too, but this is not the 100-year storm like everybody talking about. I dropped a couple of links in the chat that showed like 1987. Like a couple of years, you know what I'm saying? It's happened a lot of times in Central Texas, not a few, but a lot.
I
think Aurora really has the point of it where, like, fires in California and the deadly flood in Texas, no warning, no protection, the billionaires benefit out of it after the disaster. And that's what I was saying. It's like, follow the money, man. So,
okay, let me just say this, you guys. So we've been talking about this. This has been a topic of conversation, I think, all day. I was just getting bits and pieces of it and trying to listen as intently as I could while I was at work. But the overwhelming, interesting part of it is just the warning system that you guys don't do or do not have. And then there was something that was submitted saying that they were getting warnings until like 1 o'clock or so in the morning. But there is also just documented facts that by sunset, the night before the floods, federal forecasters were warning that rainfall would quickly overwhelm the baked dry soil. That was by sunset. So if you have camps, and what Scotty was saying, somebody's gonna be held responsible because they're trying to do a cover up now. They're trying to do a cover up. If you have a camp sitting in a flood zone with children, and even if it's been there for years and decades and everything, I get it, understand. And that man lost his life, the one who owned the camp, I believe. He lost his life trying to save those young people, those children, actually children. He lost his life. But it said by sunset. Now, I don't know who was responsible because I'm hearing now that you can't get cell service there. That sounds also very dangerous. Okay, so why put a camp where you can't get cell service, goddammit? By sunset, the night before the floods, federal forecasters were warning that the rain would quickly overwhelm the dry baked soil. So it should have been those camp people's responsibility at that point. All the other people who are along the bank, you solo, somebody said that they had really gifted campers there. I think it was Trent. survivalist people, then you need to get out.
Marshall said that.
Okay, Marshall, I apologize, Trent. Marshall said that. So there should have been some type of way that these people, if this is a campground, don't they have camp like the Rangers or some shit? This is just a wild.
The funding was cut for Rangers.
So the Rangers.
Remember they were talking about a lot of these parks don't have.
This is crazy.
Remember that they've been talking about a lot of these parks don't have the necessary personnel to maintain the park. So yeah, there.
Patty, this shit is crazy because while you guys are talking, I'm just reading article after article. So it's just saying that, they're pointing fingers now. There's a cover up getting ready to be had. And for a campground to be in the middle, and I say it again, I know you guys are tired of me hearing it and saying it, in the middle of a flood zone, and they don't even want to invest in the sirens because you already said that they don't have cell service. So if you got camps in your area sitting in a flood zone and your town don't even want to invest in how much money could a fucking siren cost to have the siren go off and warn these people in there who have no cell service, who are off the grid, who got kids in there, all kind of shit. This don't make sense to me. And the more I'm reading, the more angry I'm getting.
Lisa, let me also explain because can I
They can put a fucking solar thing up there like they do in California. They solarize lights, traffic signals, every fucking thing. And y'all got enough lights and sunlight in Texas to be able to power that.
So I'm gonna change my picture to something that's a pretty interesting.
Okay, let Scotty finish.
Yeah, okay.
I'm really starting to get pissed. Just reading
Lisa,
all these articles.
before the age of cell phones, but even during the age of cell phones, I've been at various campsites upstate New York where there's absolutely no signal. I was actually at one a couple of weeks ago, but every single camp has a person who is there at least 24 hours a day, or people with a whole hardwired system connected to the weather service, connected to the government, anything like that. Just in the old days, every single camp should have that. There's no question about it. They probably did, I don't know, but maybe the information wasn't getting to them accurately from whoever. I'm speculating. But every camp should have that, so that should exist. I don't know if Texas mandates that or not, but if you know New York State, they have a crazy amount of camps here, like way more than almost any other region in the country. And so they certainly mandate a lot of things that we've had to do over the years, like fire drills and all this other stuff. So we have a whole system in place with sirens and everything. And this is upstate New York. A lot of weather events don't hit up there except for like lightning. And that's it. So I just want to make sure that people understand that it exists. It can happen. It should happen in all these.
I mean, but
yeah, go ahead.
We gotta. I mean, the infrastructure here, it has to improve. But even what you're saying may not have been feasible. Poles and wires got knocked out. Cell phone towers got swept away. The entire homes got swept away like they were tin cans.
Now, Ashton, if you have a tower that's warning you of a flood, it can be washed out as well, but it's warning you before it's washed out. That's the whole point. Y'all keep trying to make excuses for the unexcusable. This is crazy because have you worked at a camp before?
Yes.
Have you worked at a camp in the middle of nowhere with kids? They are very, very cautious. They have ways of, what if something happened? What if there was a medical emergency with these kids?
We had
And you
satellites.
sitting up there talking about you don't have no cell service, you have no way of talking to the outside world. You guys, this is ridiculous.
That's the way it is out there.
No, it's not like that. You have to have, when you got kids on your property and you're running a camp, you have to be able to communicate with the outside world. You are responsible for other people's children. If there's a medical emergency at that camp, what are you going to tell the parent?
Walkie-talkies or CB radio.
Hey, Lisa.
Most camps have satellite phones. They have their radio.
But not even that. They have a CB radio or they should have walkie-talkies.
is it? I was just going to mention. Somebody said that the Rangers were cut. Is that what somebody?
That's the Rangers were cut. Yes, sir.
Well, it was a private Christian camp. It says no camp Mystic is a girls' summer camp, not a camp for Rangers. It is a Christian summer camp that has operated for 99 years in the Guadalupe River in Texas.
We're talking about
so it wasn't like
we're talking about the actual campgrounds. So does the campgrounds itself not have rangers?
no, that's what I just looked up. The camp and the campgrounds.
Private camp. So
Yeah, that's where all the girls are washed up.
For the Christian, whatever.
Yeah, the Mystic Camp is what the campground's located on, and it says that it's a privately owned camp for Christian.
And when things are privately owned in Texas, to be honest with you, it's crazy how this is. They actually run on their own system. It's crazy how that is. Everywhere else you can say, no. You can go on, somebody have a ranch, they do whatever the fuck they want to do on a ranch in Texas. Like, they don't fuck with privately owned shit in Texas. So should you have it? Yes. Did they have it? No. It doesn't mean that they're connected to, they don't have to be the way that, even when y'all talk about like, lines and all of that stuff. If you're out in the woods, you don't have power lines. I mean, you don't have like telephone lines that's running always to there. They should have other methods. But when we say there's no cell phone service, we don't mean it's zero cell phone service. We mean like I have AT&T. I keep AT&T and I pay the AT&T money. Why? Because my AT&T travels to most of these places in Texas. But there are some places where AT&T will fall out of service. And I'll be like, oh shit. But then everybody doesn't have AT&T. Everybody not willing to pay the AT&T price. So if you have other services, your service may not have as many towers that it can ping off of. So now if a tower go down, then that service that go down. And that's how it works. So the cell phone services ping to each other. AT&T is a great service to have because it has multiple towers. Not all of these services do. Not everybody who is on, can afford the AT&T all the time, especially in these poor areas. So there's multiple reasons why this shit became a perfect storm in a sense. If they didn't have that stuff, if it's a privately owned camp, they may run under different regulations. But you doing your private owned camp, because people pay to go there and they doing it differently, they may not have to have the same things that a public or a camp that's ran by the city may have. You know what I'm saying? It's just levels to why this stuff happens, but this should be a wake-up call on so many levels. So many things should be said. Like, there's people that go camping all the time. There are people that go out in the woods and they be going hiking. Well, guess what? They probably wouldn't have got the notice because their phone might have went dead. This and the other. People were literally on vacating in this area. People tend to like to be around the water around the holidays here in Texas. That's a big thing. They don't have all of that stuff.
I found out some lawsuits that they were undergoing since 2007 through 2012, a family feud. The brother, Richard Eastland of the Camp Mystic versus his sibling, Stacy, the plaintiffs accused Dick of underpaying the rent, misappropriating corporate opportunities, and breaching fiduciary duties, claiming he skimmed millions by paying below market rent to NFP. It sounds really corrupt over there, sadly, folks.
Also, one of the other locations was a place called KTR RV Park, where 26 people were washed away. It was an RV park for the camp.
Okay, so this camp is liable. Does anybody disagree?
Oh, I agree wholeheartedly.
I hope they got some insurance because they're 100% liable. Does anybody disagree?
Yeah, especially child protective safety laws. They're going to be sued, but here's the point. The state
And the
and
county.
the county owes the responsibility to people who can't protect themselves. I don't care if it's a private entity, okay? Children cannot speak for themselves. They cannot get up and drive cars. They don't have freedom of movement. It's limited. So whether it's a private company or not, state and county owe a level of protection to those children. And I want to hear that, and this is not being harped all day because shit like this happens in Florida all the time. I want to hear that camp had a process in place where there were multiple adult counselors on guard every single night, whether there's a storm or not. Somebody should be awake, monitoring the weather, monitoring the safety of the children. You can't all of them carry asses sleep. And anecdotally, from what I've seen, I could be wrong, Anecdotally, from what I've seen, from the little stories that we've heard, it doesn't seem that there was a coordinated effort to evacuate those children. It seemed ad hoc. Somebody woke up in the night, realized that the water was up to the cabin, got the two children out the window. It seems anecdotally. So I'm gonna stick a pin and reserve judgment. But they definitely should have processes in place. I don't care if it's 100 event. It happened before. You know there's a likelihood that it could happen again. You don't play Russian roulette with children who can't protect themselves. I'm sorry. I'm not giving any quarter for this. I'm very, very particular with children. Processes should be in place. And fire the damn legislations if they're not up to speed to put the things to keep the community safe. Stop electing these deadbeats.
Question: hold on. The two staff members that saved the 20 children, did they not do their job?
No.
They did it. No, wait, I forgot. Do the question again.
The two staff members that removed 20 children, that saved 20 children, did they not do their job?
No, because there was a lot more kids that died.
They did do their job.
If one child died.
Hold on. I understand that 23 died, but we also have to recognize the two workers, the two teenagers, let's be clear, that saved 20 kids.
Of course they do.
That had those kids write their names on their bodies, just in case.
Okay, if they're given authority over the full 50 kids and half the kids die, that means they dropped the ball. So they should have had preemptive warning, even if they were just watching the National Weather Service and they seen that it was getting severe. They should have moved the kids out hours before, and nobody would have died.
No, what you're not understanding is that was two different camps. The first camp did all of their children. They think the whole 104 came from the camp. No,
listen, 26 came from 26.
You don't understand. No,
you got Camp Mystic, you got Kate's.
Wait, can we?
I'll stay now. Tell me what I don't know.
There are two camps. Those two girls cleared one whole camp, and all those. Thank you. The second camp was the ones that their people did not know and did not understand. They said those two girls noticed something was wrong. It wasn't like they got noticed. They realized something wasn't right, and they started getting people out. But the reality also, when y'all say, well, y'all couldn't. Literally all around Kirksville was underwater.
There was notices. The night before.
So it's like, wait a minute. It's picking. Georgetown, you got whole apartment buildings underwater. Kids is in those too. You got all these other towns. So people were literally all over the place until the rain stopped, until the water calmed. They could not get in there to get anybody.
They knew that there was going to be a severe weather event the night before. Whenever there's a tornado heading here in Texas, and even when it's within a half hour or 45 minutes from our city, I tell my wife and kids to get into the bathroom and set up the bed and stuff and get all that stuff ready and get it prepared. I mean, that's the point. If they knew there was going to be any type of severe event, and you're in control, possession of that amount of kids, even just one kid, but especially a huge group of kids, they should have been on the fucking ball. They should have been watching this shit all night. All the surrounding counties were notified. Even if you're saying
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm saying there's a difference between the camp counselors and the people who run the fucking camp.
I know, but I get that, but whoever's in charge, if they are given possession and authority over those kids, they are held responsible. It doesn't matter if they're 16, 17-year-olds. If a 16, 17-year-old is watching over a swimming pool, if a 16, hold on, Scotty, if a 16, 17-year-old is lifeguard on duty in a swimming pool and he's not paying attention and gets drowned, then they are liable. Oh my goodness.
Administration, that's where it's not. Responsibility is with them. It's not for the camp fucking counselor.
Yes, it is. They should be awake. That was the point. They should have been awake. All of them should have been awake monitoring this event.
One mic on Haitian, please. One mic on Haitian.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out, is that a blackface Trump?
What's that? Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. My
know there was two different camps. I understand we want to keep on speaking on the 104 that died and the 104 that died. But to be clear, nobody wants to speak about the 20 that's alive. You know why? Because that was two Mexican counselors that saved those 20 kids. So they don't want to speak on that. That's why that is not in the report.
Wait, Mel, what are you talking about? It's like half the state is Mexican. What would be the agenda of half the state?
Are you guys shitting me?
You think Texas is racist?
What's not on the news? Yes. That's what I am.
85% of the
Are
state
you
is
shitting me
Hispanic.
right now? Are we speaking about the same red state? Are we speaking about the same red state?
Yeah, I know.
Are you fucking shitting me right now?
The state that's, almost half Hispanic is secretly hiding the fact that
What the fuck does that mean?
help them out. Yeah,
That's the
it's
fucking
racist.
problem. They're Hispanic. That's bullshit.
Yo, look at the crack in his PTR. What do you expect?
That shit is fucking bullshit. Stop with that fucking rhetoric. That just because you're Hispanic, you ain't fucking racist. Just because you're Hispanic, you don't want to be white. Everybody's the fucking same. No, that's not the fucking case. And once again, they're not mentioning it because it's not fucking convenient for them to fucking mention it. Even you right now, let's not talk about those 20. Let's talk about the 23 that died. It's like, come on.
Yep, and Haitians and Mel and everybody. This dude, he's classified as
Yeah, I'm yelling. If you don't want to hear me yelling, lower your fucking mic. Lower your fucking volume. You got control of your fucking phone.
Oh yeah, it's
The
a
fuck?
secret conspiracy racism in Texas. To not point out that the two kids were Hispanic. It's made up by half the population.
He's classified as Armenian, you guys.
I'm not Armenian.
Somebody else who.
No, not
Well, you
Armenian.
have Armenian. You had that in your profile.
No, it's actually making jest at a person who was giving me shit.
Oh, well, there you go. See, you want to play games. Now Texas is not racist. You're crazy as hell.
Well, no, it's actually somebody that was talking about the Armenian genocide, and I said Armenians equals.
We don't care about that. We're talking about whether
Trent, Mexican runs the state, and there are racist Mexicans. There are Mexicans that don't want to be called Mexican. There are Mexicans that think they
Back to the Aurora
I want to be
conspiracy theories
white.
again.
Are you fucking kidding me right now? And this goes for all fucking Hispanic countries. This is just not Mexicans. But if y'all want to keep it on the Mexicans, we can keep it on them.
I'll tell you this, Mel. I don't think there's going to be one parent that goes back and said what was just said on the stage in regards to blaming the two teenagers that were on point. I don't think nobody's going to do that outside of this room.
And when Mel's waking it up, because she's right. I haven't seen any news articles and like a whole bunch of videos and stuff like that around the two counselors that saved the 20 kids. It's definitely, and I get it. Like you would actually focus more on the dead people, but today and yesterday, there's been a lot of videos and some articles out about who was saved, right? So like they're showing the drone footage, they're showing the police, and all these people pulling people out of the water. Where's the two counselors and the 20 kids?
Wait, do you want me to start posting the dozens of articles talking about the 14 children that were saved by the two camp counselors? You always talk about all those articles? Yeah, because they don't exist. Yeah. Texas is so racist.
He's gonna speak about TikTok and Twitter and Instagram. They are not on they're not on everything. They're not in the front there.
People.com.
Okay.
Threads.com.
On the social media platform.
WSAW.com, which is a local news station. Which other ones do you want? You want more? Okay, so.
No, like I said, can you fucking PTR, you piece of shit?
Well, why would I do that?
Why the fuck you just speak to black people?
He's a love racist Mexican. What you think?
Dirty motherfucking black guy, you like that? You like that? Fucking trash.
He a racist Mexican defending
And
Mexican.
I'm really trying to behave tonight, but I just can't let this motherfucking dirty ass.
Yeah, I've been quiet. I've been quiet for hours listening to this fuck shit.
This needs to stop. The mayor needs to implement some sort.
you're the brilliant one, and thank you for that.
Are you here?
Well, no, I actually came up to point something out and a couple things, correct a couple things. That was it.
Oh yeah, and then you have the rest.
I mean, I've had this PTR for like a year and a half, so it's not like I intentionally came up here. So with this, like, oh, I'm gonna trigger people.
Can you drop them, please?
Oh, okay, yeah. You're the one that started the conspiracy, Scotty.
Yeah, it wasn't me. Fuck off. Anyway, here's the point. It's levels of responsibility. The camp council, I've worked in these situations for years. I know how the authority levels of authority are. The camp counselors are instructed by the admin that runs the fucking camp. The people who are connected to the radios, the police, all of the emergency services. They will send out directives to the counselors when they get the warnings. If that was not done, and the counselors are seeing something happen, they will do their best to save people. But the responsibility falls on the administration of that camp. Also, as you move up the chain, was the camp getting the necessary responses from the local government, the local county, and the state? Were they getting all the information they needed to protect people? When parents send their kids to camp, they assume all of these systems are in place. They don't ask them, what kind of emergency service setup do you have? What kind of siren system do you have? They just assume all these things are done, because they also sometimes assume that the local government and the Texas government have systems in place, and that these camps have these systems in place. So I want to make the connection to all of those things, and it is absolutely fucking tragic that this fucking could have happened and it didn't need all of this necessary death. I'm specifically referring to the camp itself, not the campground.
I just put in the chat a little earlier that about the two, first of all, there were two FEMA top level employees that were cut. They went to different kinds of evacuation service organizations, but they offered their services and also gave some insights to what's wrong. One of them was that they often recommend in those camp situations crank radios. They say they always have that. That's like one else from the things. And then there was another link that I put in there about the details of the Camp Mystic, about the details of the evacuation plans that Camp Mystic had in their accreditation process. In addition to that, in that article, there's accounts that the mayor says and the judge says, even though they were told that the NWS said that they notified the mayor and the judge, they said that they didn't even get the warnings until, I guess, when the mayor or something got the warning at 5 a.m.
So that's all lies. I'm sorry. It's all lies. And the cover up is just getting ready to start. And I'm you know.
Yeah, that's not what the emergency.
No, that's lies.
It's a drop of the ball, right?
That's lies. I just read an article. Someone just said that. Trent, I'm just sitting up here with my finger in my butt right now. I read those articles and they got. Are you gonna talk over me though?
No, there's two different.
Are you gonna talk over me though?
I'm not.
Go ahead, Trent. You got it. No, go ahead.
There's two different ones. They were talking about getting for him is the emergency. That is the force fed warning that goes to the cell. There were other alerts that shoot that is elements like that. But what they were speaking of, they didn't get the name on that before him.
Okay. So, regardless of what everybody else got on their phones and everything else, I'm telling you, I'm reading articles where they were told at sunset the day before that this was going to be a storm that the ground wasn't going to be able to absorb this much rain.
Yeah.
So when you have, I don't know how many times this is like a circular conversation. When you have campgrounds and you're the owner or you're the operator or whatever, you have to have emergency contingency plans in place. I do not care if you don't have the resources, the money, whatever. Don't run the campground then. I don't care the fact that, yes, I don't care designated line, that's your problem. If they, okay, listen to this part. Your kid, if you would have went to this camp orientation, because I've worked camps before, right? I've worked a lot of fucking camps, and Scotty's worked camps. You, first of all, the camp leaders come in and we get, I don't know what kind of camp this was. I don't know if it was a discount camp, it was a Target camp, it was a Walmart camp. I don't know what it was. But every camp that I've ever volunteered or worked at, we have our orientation the first few days first. We're taught about all the warning systems. We're taught about the emergency systems, the evacuation routes, the medical emergencies, where everything is kept, the EUDs in case there's somebody's having a cardiac event, where the medical shit, just on and on. Because you got children, right? I don't even know what was. Does anybody here know what the ratio was for camp leader to children? What is there's also laws, guidelines. I don't know if it's laws in Texas, because you guys is buck wild. You do whatever you guys fucking want in Texas. But there's also guidelines to how many camp leaders or team leaders are per child. There's ratios, right? Because you can't have 100 kids and 2 camp leaders. So if you go to the orientation of the camp, they usually have somebody come out to wherever you signing up, or you whatever, a website or something, where it tells you all this. And if it's said on there, in case of emergency, we have no glass to break, and you're gonna send your kid anyway. Oh well, Junior. Good luck. I'm sending you to camp nowhere, no how, no way, because I need to get you out of my sight. So I'm just telling you, the camp is responsible. They're liable. If anybody disagrees, that's what I want to hear. And also, the county is liable for what just happened to these kids.
Can I say?
And I'm not even talking about the adults and the other campers that were in the area. We're focusing on innocent children who need adults to help them get away. All right? The campers downstream, the grown-ass people living off the grid that we're going to do, okay, whatever. But children need adult help and supervision in the case of an emergency.
I just looked up the ratio. I hope it's accurate, but it says 9 to 10 kids because they had 78 leaders or camp counselors, and there were 750 campers.
Wait, what?
I don't know if they're campers.
Wait, can you just repeat what you just said?
Supposed to be one adult supervisor. I can't.
Okay, there's not one. Okay,
I can't hear.
Repeat what you said, 11.
I'm looking at those numbers.
Yeah, what I'm looking at may be related more to people camping, because camp Mystic is not their actual camp, right? Is that the actual camp for the kids?
Yes, Camp Mystic. It's a Christian privately owned camp.
Okay, so it says the last reported number of camp counselors leaders was 78 as of 2018, and it says 750 campers. So there's one leader for every.
That's right. That's about right. That's 8 to 10 kids per leader. That's about right.
But it's not always, okay. It's not always full. But I'm just gonna say one thing. Don't crucify me when I say this thing, please. Don't crucify me. There is now going to be their own court investigation into a company called Rainmaker.
Don't say it.
Oh God.
Don't say it, Tyler. Come on now.
Bro, this is
Come
the
on,
thing.
bro.
They just
Come on, bro.
Just listen. They did put the license
Right.
plate in. Yes, the company is called Rainmaker. We see them just spoke. They did do cloud seeding in Karnes County, which is 120 miles, about 180 miles southwest of San Antonio. But
This has to be connection.
The experts already said it wasn't the cloud seeding.
Wait, Trent, you realize we all have the internet? We can actually Google search and see that it's a conspiracy going around on social media. It says, social media speculation linked Rainmaker Technology Corporation cloud seeding operation until July 4th, floods in Texas. However, the company's CEO, Augustus Dorico, and other sources have refuted these claims. There is no investigation.
They're calling for an investigation.
No, people like you are.
Yeah,
People like you
yeah,
or
the ones that believe the ones that believe in the conspiracy.
Bro, like, I don't mind conspiracies if there's actually 3 or more people conspiring, but like these conspiracy theories are just bullshit.
like, bro, let me finish. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but they now some people want to think that
You are. You are definitely a conspiracy theorist.
You are.
Wind flow was to the northwest. And where the wind flow, they mapped this out. Like,
Why
they
do
have
you do this? Wait, why do you do this, Trent? It's a conspiracy, and you're adding more shit into this pile of garbage. What are you doing?
Because I would say you should at least look. You should at least look at.
No, because I'm not fucking gullible, bro. Because I can fucking.
Hold on for 1 second. Like, hey Trent, I've been listening for a while. I understand much, right? Initially, earlier when you came in, you basically were saying, yeah, that could be a possibility, but not really. You know, they were postulating, but it wasn't an issue. Somebody else initiated it. You substantiated it. You said it wasn't a realistic possibility. Right now, I know. I'm accurate. One thing we do know is there's not been one instance of cloud seeding yielding a storm. It can enhance weather that's already there. It can't create weather that isn't, right? So now when we're starting to go down this rabbit hole that doesn't even fucking exist, let me finish, of cloud seeding that we've already has never been substantiated on any scientific level ever in the history of fucking niggerdom, then why are we even having this conversation?
Listen, this is why they're calling for it. Because the flow they did spray on July 2nd at 4 p.m.
Yeah, but you didn't know
this.
that girl.
Nobody's denying that.
So that girl brought it up. So what you did was look for an article that made it make sense for you because you have a mental health issue.
I didn't think that this was fucking possible either. But they got graphs and they show the flow.
You were so gullible.
The northwest. And the
You were
flow.
so gullible. Pause before you inject this shit into conversation.
Trent, can you explain to us about the reptilians too?
Welcome to all.
Yeah, let's stay off the reptilians.
Do you think the reptilians had anything to do with the cloud seeding, or maybe they enhanced it?
Just look. They just had them. They just had them on the Houston Chronicle. Now there are people calling it reptilian investigation. When I look at the map, because what is hard to predict? It's precipitation. And what was so far off about this storm was the precipitation. And what cloud seeding does is doesn't create storm. That is correct. It increases precipitation. And so I just think it's
Not
worth
like
an
that, it
investigation.
doesn't. Not like that, it does not increase precipitation like that. It does not.
No, cloud seeding doesn't. It
It
doesn't
does not increase it to that degree that they saw that night. It does not.
Ma'am, it doesn't.
It does not.
By their
The
own
clouds
admission.
dissipated after they seeded them and it was 100 and some miles away. So no,
I
it
get it,
didn't.
but that's what he said. But they've already shown
You
the
don't get it. You just keep coming back to
looking at
this.
it.
You're
Hold on.
stuck in it like a hamster in a cage.
No, I'm just saying it is worth an investigation, and it should be looked at, and it will be looked at, 100%.
Right.
No, it won't. Because it doesn't exist. It's not real.
This is how conspiracy theories get spread.
Yeah.
Also, to Gemini's point, and we all heard it in the room, he was saying, no, it's not, it's because he's not responsible. Then somebody brought up something that triggered him and made him lose his fucking shit and go down a rabbit hole of conspiracy theories, and then he came back and changed his mind.
Exactly.
So this is how,
It's called Johnny Walker.
That's exactly what I was saying, Scotty.
I'm just saying, we all witnessed it in real time, how a conspiracy actually can actually foment in the minds of people like Trump in real time, and we saw it happen here. God bless the Fort.
Wait, Scotty, didn't you bring up a conspiracy that Greg Abbott hates all the Texans and wants them all dead? That they don't care about their...
No, that's a hyperbolic statement that you.
Oh, okay, cool. No, that's what you said. You said that they don't give a shit about their people, and that they should focus more on warning systems, and that they don't care.
They should.
Yeah,
they don't. It's not. They don't prioritize. They don't prioritize people. So that was the statement. You want to turn it into Greg Abbott wants to kill people? Sure, go ahead. I don't agree with you.
Well, I mean, by saying that they don't give a shit about their own people and they don't care if they die.
Yeah,
I mean,
because they prioritize other things over caring about their people. So, I mean, that's obvious.
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
Oh, I agree with that one.
Says the ass on blackface.
Yeah, Donald Trump doesn't either.
I love black people. I think they're beautiful inside and out.
Okay.
Okay, so we don't care. Let me play this clip of this guy who works for, I don't know who the heck he works for, but he's talking about he's talking about the warning system, you guys, because, I don't know where this is going to go, but I know that this is going to be a big mess in Texas, and once again, a cover-up is starting already. Let me play this one here.
Prevented.
Well, I've been here 45 years, not seen other floods. This was the biggest, and I don't know why we don't have an early warning system on this river. Not that it would have done enough, but we had a 30-foot wall of water, 300 yards wide, go down by my house at 85 miles an hour. So that's fast, and I just really think we need that.
Look, you're a code enforcement officer there for Ingram, Texas. I mean, I know we're in the midst of this tragic situation, but clearly something needs to change, right? There have to be changes. You talked about an early warning system. I know that that's already been talked about. What are your thoughts? What do you think needs to be done going forward, just from your experience and you being a local, seeing that this was a sadly historic tragedy?
So, if I may, let me say something, and that's that we in Kirk County, Ingram, we are so humbled and blessed for all the people that have given their time and their energy to help us. We're humble and we're grateful. We do need a flood warning system. We need to maybe look at ordinances on campgrounds, maybe, on who can be there and how far down. But I don't think this was preventable.
Right. Well, just the fact that you're talking about ordinances on campgrounds and looking into the future and being able to save lives if, God forbid, this were to ever happen again in such a large scale. Stuart Gross, we appreciate your time and appreciate you.
Okay, I thought he was going to say
Why do they keep fucking camping near this river? Why would somebody do it? If it's flooded, why? I went to Christian camps growing up as a kid, and I always thought I was going to lose my life in one of them hinky-ass places, okay? Bougie places are fucking crazy, all right? If something happens to you so fucking far out, this don't make no sense to me at all. Why do you keep doing it? And they'll probably continue to do it.
I know. What if you got some crazy ass person in the fucking campground who comes in there and starts a mass? You guys are making me. I ain't sending my kids to no camp. Now that I'm seeing all the holes and the cracks and shit, I'm not. Y'all can keep it.
I survived. Crystal Lake in New Hampshire, where I grew up. So yeah.
One of the scariest things I keep hearing about is the lack of an evacuation plan, right? We understand that there was a lack of communication initially as far as the severity of the warnings that were issued, right? But the lack of an evacuation plan, the shelter-in-place mindset, which, that's waiting for death if you really think about it in a scenario like this. That's crazy.
Yeah, and
was there a lack of an evacuation plan?
That's what officials have said. Like officials
The counties didn't call for it; they delayed.
Because I'm just wondering, because like a lot of times with those camps, like they have procedures, like
that's what I thought was weird. I'll find an article and put the link, Patty. But they said officials admitted to the lack of an evacuation plan other than shelter in place. Like, why would they admit that?
So are they talking about the officials for the local city or what? Or like was there something?
I think
or were they talking about the actual camp itself?
I took it as the officials for the city, but I don't know. It could be a camp. I don't know. I'll find a link and put it in the chat, though.
Because a lot of times these camps actually have like They have. I've never been to a camp that didn't have
Me
it.
either. I'm a camper. I've never heard of that ever like that. That's usually a first discussion, like when you arrive on site, right? But
Yep.
for whatever reason, that's what they said.
Right. I put a link in the chat that was talking about their evacuation policy, right? But then there was something else that there was like 2 or 3 prior incidents where they had this flash flood. You know,
Yeah, but that's what I've been saying all day, that there doesn't seem to be any processes in place. I'll wait to see if they announce it at this camp in terms of what is the planned, organized way that they respond to any type of event, critical event. Who are the counselors that are going to be assigned? Like in the hospital, I'm like a code blue Nazi. I train and I teach that. We have code blue team. Who is going to respond when somebody goes in cardiac arrest? And that changes every day, and everybody knows what to do when there's a code blue and who to show up. Did they have a plan in place where counselors, several of them, are awake and stand guard over those kids to make sure that they're safe, that if the rain is being happening for several days, that they're monitoring a ham radio? We're not going to rely on electricity, especially in the wilderness, because we know with the weather it can go out. So they should have ham, I would expect, that they have ham or crank radio who's monitoring that. And who is the chain of command who gives to say all clear, or let's get these kids out of here? And I haven't heard that those things, like I said, it seems like this rescue issue was ad hoc, like it just was spontaneous. It didn't seem organized to me. That's me looking out. And that's my big issue. That's why I'm focusing on the children, because there's nobody looking out for them.
He said, like the few camps in the state of Texas are required by law to have mandatory written emergency plans, including clear rules for counselors and other staff. State regulation, Texas Administrative Code, Title 25, Chapter 255. Every licensed youth camp must include its emergency plan procedures for disaster, serious incidents, epidemic, or fatality. Plans must be written, posted in every building, and include specific assignments for each staff and counselor. Campers and staff must be trained on these plans during staff orientation, and documentation of training is mandatory. So, obviously, they should have had a plan. Okay.
The answer to that, Patty, I found what I was looking for. It said Kern County Judge Rob Kelly repeatedly stated that neither county authorities nor camps had flood-specific warning systems or evacuation strategies in place, saying, quote, I don't know what kind of safety and evacuation plans those camps may have had. It was a judge that was saying that.
And if you read it, he said he doesn't know what the plans that they had, is what I'm hearing from you. And then he said something about the emergency evacuation systems. So like, that's why I asked, is this specific to local, what the county has done versus what the camps
I
have
think you're talking about the county.
So right, and that's gonna be the county, because there's an actual code, or there's a state regulation when it comes to Texas, with these Darren camps.
Yeah, but here's something, wait, 1 second, here's something else, because the Guadalupe River is known for its propensity to flood, and it has earned the nickname Flash Flood Alley for its vulnerability to flash flooding. This nickname applies to the broader Texas Hill Country region, where the Guadalupe River is a prominent feature. The river and the surrounding area are prone to rapid and dangerous flooding due to a combination of factors, including the region's topography and the type of rainfall it receives. The river's course through the hill country's valleys and canyons can funnel and concentrate floodwaters, leading to sudden and intense rises in water levels.
Take that a step further, Doc. Give me 1 second, I'll be very brief. It says Kirkville City Manager Dalton Rice expressed uncertainty about issuing evacuation orders, emphasizing they, quote-unquote, reluctantly avoided sounding alarms prematurely and lacked clear assessment of camp's readiness. So there was a lot of
There's an article that I put in the chat that it has from
was telling her to go, but she was waiting to go.
Oh, okay. You're looking at. All right. So they basically in that article show the line of the flow, from the NWS down to the camp, right? And it says, just as one paragraph says, the leaders of Camp Mystic would activate their own emergency plan. If I guess that's as the last ditch thing required in order to be licensed by the state of Texas as a youth camp, it would trust by the rigorous accreditation process of the American Camp Association, of which Mystic is a member. The plans are posted throughout the premises and reviewed annually by staff. They describe how an evacuation would proceed. Then it goes on to say no one would die, Right? So that's in the chat.
And then when y'all talk about flood zones, y'all open up camps, it actually says that most camps, so even with the FEMA map, right? So most camps, they end up being in flood prone zones because of the natural settings, the lakes that are near it, and they're in rural areas. So regardless of the fact we can keep saying flood zone, whatever camp you go to, because it's proximity to water and low level, it's gonna be a flood zone.
Can I speak, please? Is that okay? So I wanted to say something that it's worth noting that when it came down to the other camps, because you have Camp Mystic, which was 8 to 17, you have Camp La Junta, which is General Hughes, not specified, no known injuries, and then you had the Texas Lions Camp, serves disabled youths, and they had a safe evacuation with no incident. From all the reporting I've seen, Camp Mystic wasn't a special needs camp. It served girls 8 to 17, and none of the coverage mentions disabilities. Nearby camps like the ones that I mentioned, which serve disabled youth, all managed to evacuate safely with 0 injuries reported. That points to a breakdown specifically at Mystic, not a genuine failure in handling vulnerable groups. So when you look at it, when it goes into it, and it's worth noting that, for example, they serve children with, Texas Lions Camp. They serve children with physical disabilities, chronic illnesses, and medical vulnerabilities. They followed protocol, evacuated in time, and didn't lose a single child. That's proof that proper leadership and emergency response to these tragedies can be prevented. So how is it that a camp for children with complex needs got everyone to safety, while Camp Mystic had an advance warning at sunset the night before and ended up with dozens of children and teen counselors that are missing? This shows us that this wasn't just a natural disaster. This was a failure of leadership, planning, and accountability. It proves that the underage counselors should never have been left to carry that responsibility. Adults in charge failed them.
They had received a notification at sunset the night before. So who said that? They did receive notification the night before.
There was notification on sunset.
They didn't. That's not
July 3rd.
Yeah, so Lisa read that there was notification at sunset. I think what is it, throughout the county or something like that, or whatever, but that camp, what proof do people have that camp received notification at 6 p.m. the night before?
We don't have any proof of that. But do you think? I'm just asking.
No, that's what Aurora was saying. Lisa, that's why I zeroed in on her comment, because what she said is different from what you said.
And what's really weird to me, though, you guys let's think about this. And this is not funny. I just have to release the stress off of my chest right now. Just knowing that these meteorologists are saying that they were warning, gradually increasing this warning, starting from the day before. They knew the storm was coming. They knew it was going to be a lot of rain. My thing also is that if I'm at home and I know my kids are in flash flood alley, even if the camp's not getting it, maybe this happened. You guys think some of the parents might have tried to say, let me go and get my kid because they're in some type of flash flood alley. I'm sitting here watching MSNBC or whatever the hell, the local news station, and you think they thought to themselves, maybe I should either call up there. It has to be a way to communicate with this camp. You guys are not going to make me believe that there is no way the parents could be having an emergency. There could be a family emergency. And the way I'm getting some of you guys saying, it's just no way to get in contact with these. That's impossible. You're not going to tell me you're running a camp where there's not consistent communication. I don't believe it. You don't have to come here and make me believe it. You're not going to do it. You might be doing it in another room, but it's not going to happen right here because that don't make sense for you to be in charge of children and you don't have all kind of safety nets in place.
So here's a small little quote from a person, one of the camp mystical program directors. She said at 3:11 a.m. I was woken up to help evacuate campers from their cabins. A camp mystic program director recently posted social media. By 4 a.m. I was on a roof with the water right to me.
And these are some little kids. Now I understand all that, right? But there was something that happened before that happened. There's just this, 3 a.m. They just realized that shit was starting to go down. They knew this. I don't know if they ignored it. I don't know if they didn't want to lose their little funds or whatever they get because I'm looking at a picture that's on New York Post that they posted. Shows Camp Mystic campers just days before every girl was lost in Texas. These are little girls. I don't know what people are thinking. These are little girls. And the camp director, camp counselor Chloe, I don't know, rest in peace. I don't even know if this lady is still with them or whatever. She looks really, really young too. Wait, she's not missing. Okay, who's missing? Okay, they got missing next to the people who are actually missing. But the camp counselor, Catherine Ferenzo, she also looks very, very young. She looks like she could be 15, 16 years old. I could be wrong.
Well, Lisa, that was the lady that was on CBS News with her daughter, and then like 11, 12 years old. And the lady lives I guess they live up in Virginia somewhere. The mom's from Texas. And she said her daughter's been attending there for the past 4 years since she was like 7 or 8. So yeah, it's a lot of little kids there. And I can't understand why the fuck nobody was awake. And, even midnight, seeing the storm going freaking crazy, it wasn't going, hey, do you think we should move these kids out of here? But it just sounds like everybody went in and went to bed, fell asleep, and woke up 3 a.m. and was like, oh shit, the water's up to our waist. Like, I just,
And that's also
How do you expect to go anywhere when the water gets to that level? Like when it was known that the water was on its way. But then here's another thing, right? They said that it's a dangerous mix of communication failures. We identified those, late warning about those, and then overconfidence and existing protocols.
Yeah, I think that sounds just about right.
yeah, they figured, oh, it's just another storm, it's not that big a deal. And then they woke up and water's up to their waist, and then they started panicking.
Lisa, I want to tell you, I'm looking on their website, and all I can see is like where you would apply for a position, and it says that, wait a minute, other staff positions at this camp nurse, nurse assistant, bookkeeper, secretary, kitchen worker, dining hall workers, camp store manager, ground workers, horse wrangler, and babysitter. Where was all these people at?
They were all sleeping, it sounds like.
And Nate, you have to be at least graduated from high school for these counselor positions. The 2-day orientation is what you get before each term begins. I don't know what to do with that. I'm trying to figure it out at their website. Their website's kind of shitty. Anyway, that's all the people generally concerned. And I would imagine some of them were at home, a lot of them, but
The article that Laura was quoting from is an article created for Texas officials to deflect and essentially blame the victims. One of the paragraphs in here says, Dalton Rice, the city manager of Kerrville, said Monday that authorities were reluctant to cry wolf and order evacuations, adding that rainfall significantly exceeded the projected amounts. He said officials had little time to react in the middle of the night, adding that qualified first responders were being swept away driving through the initial rainfall. This rose very quickly in a very short amount of time. So
once again, this falls on the government officials.
Money, 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 money.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, you guys, because we are reading about this camp. We're trying to get as much information so we won't be just in here saying harmful things. But to me, the lack of whatever guidelines that were put in place, number one. Number two, it's raining that hard. In these little camps, they don't have the best buildings. You can hear the rain probably knocking the roof off. I just would have woke the kids up and maybe we could have just moved to higher ground or some shit. Or maybe they didn't feel like it. There should always be somebody awake. What if there was a fire that just started in this campground and all asleep? All asleep? They have to be somebody awake with these children or taking turns or something. Everybody just can't be out cold. There could be somebody who wanders in and then, God forbid, it cause harm. What's the security system like then there, you guys?
Lisa, I've never been a camp ranger in one of these food places. I've never even been to camp, but I've always known that kids get up to crazy shit, at nighttime too. Wasn't there people that observe it, making sure the girls weren't sneaking out doing something or whatever?
That's kind of how I thought about it.
Yeah, or any of that kind of stuff, or having parties, drinking alcohol, smoking weed, whatever. These are little kids. You gotta watch them, especially 7 to 18 or 7 to 17, whatever it is. You would at least think that there would be at least a quarter of these camp people would have been awake, at least just monitoring the kids. But like I said, it just sounded like everybody was asleep.
No, most camps, any camp that I've seen has a whole walkie-talkie system. So the counselors or a group leader within that cabin, there's at least one per cabin, and that is mandated so that people can get emergency, or put emergency protocols in place in case of a fire or flood, lightning, whatever it is. And those are the systems. That's the basic.
Actually, I do take that back. I did go to Cub Scouts, so I guess some Cub Scouts kind of counts as camp.
I had to go to a sixth grade camp. It's mandatory. All the kids have to go to sixth grade camp, and the adults who went were parents and school staff, and they had staff on Monday nights because you go home responsible for 60 or 70 sixth graders. You just can't, you have cabin as a parent or a staff member. So what the hell? I don't understand.
At Cub Scouts, two students could stay up 2-3 hours with the leaders. They were up, there was always a wicket, that was always awake. Another thing, those cabins at Camp Mystic, they were built back in 1926 to 1930s. And from there on, they tried to maintain that aesthetic of the earlier cabins, right? They were not made resilient.
Well, I was going to ask, I was just going to ask, aren't most of these camps hemorrhaging money, and a lot of them are on the verge of collapse? Maybe that played a part in why they weren't so prepared. Because you just look on Zillow and look up maximum square footage, and there's just camps all over the country that are closed for sale.
This camp had 6 to 8 terms summer. I don't know how long their term was. It couldn't have been very long, but that's what their website said.
Yeah, I always thought that camps nowadays are kind of a thing of the past, almost like malls and stuff.
It depends on the region. Up in New England, New York, it is just safe to send your kids to overnight camp. They're incredibly popular, but there are a lot of older ones that don't have the amenities and updated infrastructures that are closing and people are consolidating to better camps.
Yeah, there's two cabins that are super popular.
Well, this was going to be soon.
It's like VBS, Vacation Bible School, but that's not like a camp. You should go to the church office.
Yeah, Vacation Bible School and the actual church. But this camp is going to be sued, and I know they have insurance. They have insurance. What kind of insurance? I don't know. So as just what time is it now? 12:13 in Manhattan, and I guess 9:13 in on the West Coast. They're saying as of now, 24 minutes ago, the New York Times, Texas flood live updates, death toll tops 100, and they're still searching for victims. So, what, does anybody have another number? Because it looks like we can go past 100 easy. Because it says it's topping 100 now. This makes no sense. 100 people dead over some preventable shit. Not the weather, not the nature, not nature's events, but planning, communication, notification, whatever. For a somebody tell me what that's called. Is that called Flood Alley? I've been trying to look
The
at
Flash Flood Alley is called. But this whole thing about the cabinet structure is really interesting when it comes to this possibilities because the cabinet sat below the historical 100-year flood line, and few had flood mitigation features like raised foundations, sealed flooring, or waterproof exits.
Yeah, and I can attest just living in Texas. I mean, it is a state that you are on your P's and Q's when you're out in nature because, I mean, we do have a lot of fucking crazy shit here. I mean, we got baseball size hail, basketball size hail in some rural parts of Texas. I mean, it can get wild real quick.
yeah, that's even more reason. The more you guys are talking,
I love
the more
Texas,
I
though.
know that that I know some that it's really horrible. That this could have been not prevented, but it maybe wouldn't have looked like it does today. And we're quarterbacking, yes, but we're also going through all the articles, looking at what people are saying, reading what experts are saying. But in other news, you guys, just we can still keep talking about this, but the Justice Department finds no Jeffrey Epstein client list. That's one. Um,
That's another
news
lie.
article from today, right? More lies. And then Trump and Musk are now, their feud is escalating because Musk decided he was going to, you guys said he created a new political party today. That's what I heard earlier. And then he says, Trump is saying he's sending more weapons to Ukraine. And then the thing that happened in LA in the park. Those are some of the other top headlines that are going on right now. And that's just some. It's a lot of shit going on.
Of the late massacres. It was written by Benjamin Franklin, and there were other stories, but his point of his story was saying that you're calling these people Muslims heathens because they are not Christians, but actually you're the heathen because you are killing prisoners of war. And then he said the Muslims actually are the ones that established that you shouldn't kill prisoners of war. And he had that story that I had said was the last story he had, but he actually, Benjamin Franklin quoted the Sirah, like a hadith, at a time, the first story he told in there were four, at a time when there was no like translation of
All the time.
and we don't want just regular arrests. We want to see big names. We want to see like a Hillary Clinton or something like that. Okay, I'm not talking about somebody that I've never heard of.
I DM'd you three rings.
Hey,
Alice,
I want to say something.
I want to say something to her really quick too. The only thing that makes me, I've known about the children for a long time. I check every day, right, to see what sex traffickers have been arrested in the entire country. That is the only thing that gives me hope. So I understand that since no one is talking about it on X, you don't see any hope. But I just sent you specifically for Wisconsin. Read it. and just keep paying attention to your state. Because yes, you want Hillary Clinton, but it's the people on the ground that are actually trafficking humans.
Local, the sheriffs and all that stuff. Some of the local
A
sheriffs.
sheriff got arrested in Wisconsin. I just sent him a link.
Turtle, why don't you mention the CPS thing with the judges? Can you mention that real quick, Turtle, if you don't mind, please? Tell everybody, reiterate what the CPS got going on with the judges' pension.
Well, yeah, the pension fund that's set up between the city managers and the, lowercase or lower court judges is their pension funds are funded by CPS profits. So that's why historically they don't do anything to mess up or mess with CPS, because it affects their retirement, and it's giant money. It's unbelievable money what goes back and forth behind the scenes.
So
thank you for that.
In Wisconsin, you have Operation Restore Justice.
Real quick, let Carmen go real quick, because she wanted to talk dialogue real quick. So and then we got other hands up, and then we got to read the document. So we got Carmen.
Yeah, I've got the document. I know Olive wanted to hear that. Olive, I don't know you that great, but I do have respect for you, and I'm going to say this. I truly believe that you really want the children protected. I do believe that, and I feel like we go to the wrong places to get our information, and we listen instead of research, right? And so I ask you, I really just beg you, actually, please, because you could be a really big voice. You had a really soft voice, so a lot of people would take to that, and for the children, right? They don't have a voice. They have it's very small, right? So we have to be their voice. And I ask you to please go to a couple websites that I'll DM you, and I'll even go to even the local areas in my hometown and send you some information. How they're busting them. These rings are in your neighborhood, okay? In your neighborhood. Trust me. So I want you to see this, and then ask yourself when you're going to any other space, and they're starting to down it. Remember what you just witnessed and seen. You just seen what I'm sending you, and it's not my information. You go do the research, and then you bring it back, and you say, well, y'all can't say that he hasn't done anything, because I can count 797 people that have been taken off the streets and over 1,000 children that have been saved, right? Protected. I mean, there they are. So I want you to really do that, please. I think you got a good spirit, and you'd be great for the community. We need people like you. So I'll read that really quick.
I'll vouch for Olive. I've been around.
I've known Olive forever.
Yeah, right. I don't know why I'm not following you and you're not following me.
Oh my God, please, with the frog.
I'm all about the bees.
Hey guys, can I mention something about Wisconsin?
All right, go ahead. And then we gotta go read that after Rubber does this favor.
So just because Wisconsin will play a very big part of this. It has in the past. It was dealt with between 2017 and mid 2019. But Racine, Wisconsin, it's part of the trafficking lines called the Orion Network, and one of them was in Killeen, Texas. There's a bunch of them, and these are all deep underground, old, dilapidated, underground military bases. Some still active, some not still active. Some of them are underground, CIA operations where they do all the MK Ultra bullshit. That's where they create all the mass shooters and all that shit. Like Jason Bourne type of people. Well, Racine, in Racine, Wisconsin, and this was done under Paul Walker and Paul Ryan. And as you guys remember, Paul Ryan was big anti-Trump, big time cabal. And he basically, even though we had the White House, we had the Congress, we had the Senate during Trump's first term. If y'all remember, it was Paul Ryan who was, the Pelosi of that time, keeping Trump from doing all of that. And he put a very bright light on himself. So they had to take him away from the Senate, from government, and they put him as the board of directors for Fox News, which is where he stays to this day, if I'm not mistaken. So racing, you don't need to do much more than surface research on the child trafficking or Orion lines in order to find a lot of stuff up there in Racine, because it goes Wisconsin, it goes all the way down through Milwaukee, goes into Indiana, and it's just, Mike Pence was involved with this, and it has a lot to do with Indiana. It has a lot to do with Wisconsin around that bend there. So there's a lot to research. So, and I found it pretty quickly.
Yeah,
let me show y'all something real quick. I want to show y'all something. Now, I'm going to put this Trump post that I post. All I said was, because Trump made a statement on Truth Social. He said the FBI, under the direction of Director Cash Patel and Deputy Dan Bongino, is back to the basics, locking up criminals and cleaning up American streets. We all have the greatest law enforcement professionals in the world, but politics and corrupt leadership often prevented them from doing their job. That is no longer the case, and now they have been unleashed to do their jobs, and they are doing just that. Keep it up, make America great again. Now, look at this post real quick, you guys. No comment. Look, all I did, look at this. Look, I just want to show y'all something. All I did was say, well said, police, LLG, right? Go in the comment section. Look at the comments. All I said, bro, look at it. I'm not lying. All I said was, well said, police. Why are they making these personal attacks? Look at it. Go look. I have this thing got 12,000 views. I have so many people in that comment section that is personally attacking me just because I reposted something Trump did. You know what I mean? And this is what the left used to do. You see what I'm saying? The left used to put on these attacks. Go look at all your fake. Go look. I ain't said a word. I didn't like it. I didn't respond back. I didn't say anything. It's just kind of like you guys are freaking obsessed, bro. Like, you guys are really obsessed with Trump. They have Trump derangement syndrome. Like, this is crazy. Not all of them. They got some of our people that commented in there, but you guys, all I said was well said, police. And we're showing you guys right now this with FBI what they had. Why I said well done, because the FBI under the direction of Cash Patel and Deputy Dan Bongino are back to the basics, locking criminals up. Bro, we just showed you guys, and that's just a little bit. That's actually true. So why are these people punished?
Because trafficking is actually on this app, and when we talk about it, or when we actually rescuing people, bots get activated, and that's the plain truth, and that's the most disgusting truth. And we've been dealing with this before Elon even purchased Twitter. So not everybody wants to see children rescued because they are literally involved in trafficking. Not everyone wants to have fentanyl disease because they're making a lot of money of selling it.
No, just real quick, Squirt. So again, and then we just lost part of these people, but you guys don't look at this. This is man. I just looked at this just now. Look at Ian Malcolm 84. It's the Jews, Mr. It's the Jews, bro. He's clearly a clown. Why? Just because I support Trump, you're telling the truth. I'm literally posting stuff that's true. Why am I a clown? What are you talking about? Without this, just keep going. And it goes on and on and on. And I didn't even realize that.
Oh, wait, Patriot. One says you're paid off. That's hilarious.
But I want y'all to look at the people on this list. What did I say to them so bad? When we tell y'all, again, I would tell y'all that people just hate Trump because Trump is doing the right thing for America. This is what I'm talking about. I didn't say nothing derogatory or nothing to these people, and they're in my comment looking like my ex-girlfriend from high school. in Malcolm, what are you doing in my comment section? Why are you? What are you doing? I'm a smaller account.
In anonymous?
No. He's what I'm saying is, what is he doing in my comment section taking a poll about me being crazy and stuff? But I'm telling the truth though. And look at the poll, it says 97% people say that he's crazy. And these people can't possibly know me because they never been in there before. They never listened, right? So this is my example right here. And I don't have to say nothing to these guys. I can just post and they're gonna come to my post and they're gonna show that they actually hate America. Because what did I say wrong? Did I lie? Give me an emoji if I didn't lie in that post. If Trump didn't lie in that post, give me an emoji. Let's see how many people got that right. Thank you, you guys, the listeners, everybody, right? Did Trump lie in that post? No, he didn't. You guys got Trump derangement syndrome, and I'm gonna keep flexing Trump in front of y'all face because y'all are the radical left. We know for a fact that you're the radical left now. Look, you can't lie now. They didn't think I could get a big room and expose it. Keep coming in my comment section so I can show you all and show the people how I didn't say, what did I say, you guys? I didn't call nobody mom or me. I didn't curse nobody out. I just said, well said, points. Gay, hate, Trump.
Make America safe again, is what POTUS wrote.
They're actually doing it. They don't want club. They don't want open borders. They look like they want open borders.
4% to 6%. They just want to see it burn. You know, they're not coming back.
Yeah, they just come like, wow, these comments. So that man, I see what Trump did. God.
Definitely not these nutbags in your comments. I'm reading this now. Isn't that guy Canadian?
This is a different country. That's
These have to be bots. They have to be bots. I can't believe these people are real. This is stupid.
People turning information into personal attacks, and you know, I'm just sitting here like, when did we get here? Like, wait a minute, I thought we was talking about information because Axios is still not a reliable source. It is still, all of this is a psyop. All the whole thing. Don't cut me off.
Sorry, I get impatient sometimes.
You done cut everybody off in this doggone space where speakers and left and stuff. And here I go trying to show people and expose in my comment section. And I just want y'all to see me screenshot what they're saying right now because I look at what I posted and I got another post where I'm just gonna start posting stuff about Trump right now and see how many people are driving right. Anyway.
Hey Patriot, has anyone come out yet about that memo? Like any of the like Bondi?
No, and they're quiet.
So that's a fake document. We proved that last night. That wrote during your space. So why are we gonna read it now?
I was gonna say something.
Real quick, it's on US.gov. So it's there. They did it, bro. And I ain't mean to mute all y'all, but they can't hear me on the mics. But go ahead, y'all. Read that bill, bro. Represent, you go ahead. And then Corbin, you go ahead and Scorpio. You gotta let other people.
No, it's legit. I'm good.
Let Corbin read that real quick.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Robert Duck, I was the same way. I still say this about the document. Post it or not, it is not properly, it isn't properly cleaned up the way it should be. It doesn't address anyone in particular, and there's no signature on it. So, that's my concern, but yeah, I'm gonna read it really quick.
And it's a memo, FYI.
It is a memo.
Yeah, just because it's .gov, I could bring in 10 .gov documents right now that would knock everyone's fucking socks off. So we're gonna everything in jest. Scorpio, chill the fuck out. I'm just saying, take everything with a grain of salt.
Okay, let me see. Alright, I'm gonna find Scorpio's thing, and then here we go, right here. It says, as a part of our commitment to transparency, the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigations have conducted an exhaustive review of investigative holdings relating to Jeffrey Epstein. To ensure that the review was thorough, the FBI conducted digital searches of its sorry, I'm having to go back and forth, of its database, hard drives, and network drives, as well as physical searches of squad areas, locked databases, hard drives, locked cabinets, desks, closets, and other areas where responsive material may have been stored. These searches uncovered a significant amount of material, including more than 300 gigabytes of data and physical evidence. The files related to Epstein include a large volume of images of Epstein, images and videos of victims who are either minors or appear to be minors, and over 10,000 downloaded videos and images of illegal child sex abuse material and other pornography. Teams of agents. Okay, go ahead.
Pause. That is the most important part of that document, you guys. They're concurring that forget the list. There's some very damaging things on there, right? Why are people like not talking about that part of that's kind of scary, you guys. I'm not gonna lie. You know, why did people miss the most important part of that document? Once it got confirmed by US.gov, which again, take everything with a grain of salt, because that document looked hella sketchy last night, still does now. And the fact that the gray badges ain't said that, that's even more so suspect. But anyway, why didn't anybody say anything about the most important part of those docs? What Corman's is read. Why you got grown people on there saying that they advocate for trafficking, but they didn't talk about that specifically in the doc? They spent all day trying to deem the Trump administration and cue the bad guys, and didn't actually talk about that's what me and Scorpio was talking about that channel. I'm like, wow, when Scorpio read it, I was like, bruh, like, okay, now that it's been confirmed, like, why aren't they reading the document? And Scorpio, right, Corman, and everybody in here, they need to read the document. If y'all really care about the kids for real, read the doggone document. Understand that they're indirectly telling you guys in the document there are ongoing cases. Ongoing cases. Understand that. Go ahead, Corman. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let me see here. Teams of agents. Just making sure I'm picking up right off what's getting nothing. And other pornography. Teams of agents, analysts, attorneys, and privacy and civil liberties experts comb through the digital and documentary evidence with the aim of providing as much information as possible to the public while simultaneously protecting victims. Much of the material is subject to court-ordered scaling. Only a fraction of this material would have been aired publicly had Epstein gone to trial, as the seal served only to protect victims and did not expose any additional third parties to allegations of illegal wrongdoing. Through this review, we found no basis to revisit the disclosure of those materials and will not permit the release of child pornography. Thank you. The systematic review revealed no incriminating client list. There was also no, and I'm going to say client list in parentheses. There was also no credible evidence found that Epstein blackmailed prominent individuals as part of his actions. We did not uncover evidence that could...
Pause on that right there. Which means he did not blackmail people to do these crimes, but that doesn't mean they didn't commit these crimes on their own. And that's important.
Okay, you ready? You're right. Okay, let me find where I was at. Okay, blackmail prominent individual. Okay, we did not uncover evidence that could predict. Shit. Okay, stop now. An investigation against uncharged third parties. Consistent with prior disclosures, this review confirmed that Epstein harmed over 1,000 victims. Say it again, 1,000 victims. Each suffered unique trauma. Sensitive information relating to these victims is intertwined throughout the materials. This includes specific details such as victim names and likeness, physical descriptions, places of birth, associates, and employment history. One of our highest priorities is combating child exploitation and bringing justice to victims. Perpetuating unfounded theories about Epstein serves neither of those ends. To that end, while we have labored to provide the public with maximum information regarding Epstein and ensured examination of any evidence in the government's possession, there you go, in the government's possession, it is the determination of the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation that no further disclosure would be appropriate or warranted. After a thorough investigation, FBI investigators concluded that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide in his cell at the Metropolitan Correctional Center in New York City on August 10, 2019. This conclusion is consistent with previous findings, including the August 19, 2019 autopsy, findings of the New York City Office of the Chief Medical Examiner, the November 2019 position of the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York in connection with the investigation of federal correctional officers responsible for guarding Epstein, and the June 2023 conclusions of the DOJ's Office of the Inspector General. The conclusion that Epstein died by suicide is further supported by video footage from the common area of the Special Housing Unit, SHU, where Epstein was housed at the time of his death. As DOJ's Inspector General explained in 2023, anyone entering or attempting to enter the tier where Epstein's cell was located from the SHU common area would have been captured by this footage. The FBI's independent review of this footage confirmed that from the time Epstein was locked in his cell at around 10:40 p.m. on August 9, 2019 until around 6:30 a.m. the next morning, nobody entered any of the tiers in the SHU. During this review, the FBI enhanced the relevant footage by increasing its contrast, balancing the color, and improving its sharpness for greater clarity and viewability. The full, raw, and enhanced videos are available at the following links, and it lists the links. That's it.
So, in summary, by Trump reopening this investigation on Epstein, they discovered 300 gigabytes of evidence. And in my opinion, I believe that is helping them catch these other people that are trafficking children that are still operating. So yes, it is very sad that Epstein killed himself, but he is dead. And it's more important that we have this evidence so we can save children now.
The evidence live on.
Yeah, I don't think he's dead.
Let's go to Randy real quick. Go ahead, Randy.
Hey, Patriot, thanks for having me on, bro. Hey, real quick, I just want to say that the way I see this whole thing is that Trump, first of all, I trust Trump. He's come through with just about every promise that he's made up to now. And when he first got elected and he first selected his cabinet, they were all excited about this whole thing and they were all gung-ho about it. And the way I see it is they got the information and they realized that this was a much, much bigger and deeper situation and issue than what they even ever imagined. And right now, I think they're probably just trying to call, everybody since they got elected and they went all gung-ho are probably in hiding and they're probably trying to draw people out. That's the way I see it. I mean, there's no way to distrust them at this point. I mean, there's got to be things that we don't know, and they're never going to tell us, because I think this thing goes way further than anybody is even imagining at this point. That's all I wanted to say. Thanks, Patriot.
No, go ahead,
Sorry, Patriot. I totally agree with that statement. But what I think is, I think they did go, woo, that's deep, right? But I don't think at all that they have said that, like, throwing hands up, like, whoa, we're not even. I think that they're going at it the best possible way they can, and actually know how. And it's deep. I do truly believe that. I mean, it goes back 8,000 years. I got some research, and I'm going to throw up, but, like, it gets really deep, and there's a lot of turns and twists in this with child trafficking. The sad part is America is the number one child trafficking nation in the world.
100%. And again, you guys, we're not getting all the details, because I keep having to reiterate, they got more cases than we. I can't hear them.
Me neither. Sure.
No, we ain't there. Looks like Charlie. You hear me? God dog it, I can hear you. All right, let's try to get her back. We have to drop somebody and bring her back up, and then pull her back up. See if she can get the calls again. Let's go to Zach here. Let's go to Zach real quick.
Yes. Once we go to state to state, the child murders off the streets. Very much. And go state to state, get the illegal parents off the streets. Get them gone out of the United States. Period again. And on that deal, to make sure everything we do here on out is up and up. Pray for Texas, pray for people in the storm, quick homes and stuff like that. Let's get to work. In the winter. Thanks, Randy. Good. Speaking of that,
Danielle got to be back up, okay? Marlene, let's start at the top.
My mic kept opening up. I have a different perspective, but I'll wait to share my thoughts.
And all these listeners, go ahead and share out the word. There's more people here. And everybody arguing after I leave. I'm just praying for something.
Not today, Tara, not today.
To speak and all everything else.
All right, go ahead, LB, you got it. Go ahead. If you don't want to go right now, you don't have time. I know you want to know, you like kind of, okay, it's cool. Let me go to Meg, and then I'm going to go to Adam, and then when B is ready to talk, you got the green light, sis. All right. Go ahead, man, how you doing?
I'm doing good, Patriot. Thank you. Tomorrow I get to pick up my daddy's ashes, and I get to start the process of being his representative legally. So just another big, long day, long week tomorrow. But I did want to tell you, I want you to pay attention. What congressmen are actually talking about this? Senators, congressmen, the representatives of your states. Who's talking about this? I'd really like to see how many of them have come out. I don't care about the influencers. How many of them are silent? How many of them have not said one flippin' word? Pay close attention to all of your representatives That's going to be a big deal. You know why? Because what happens now, case closed on Epstein, okay. What happens is whatever they found that's new, that was not part of any court, can now be used for evidence against a lot of these people. You guys have to realize that the reason J6ers didn't get off like they needed to is because their evidence was taken away from them to use in the courts. President Trump is literally quiet. Pam Bondi is quiet. Dan Bongino is quiet. Kash Patel is quiet. His whole administration is quiet. When people go quiet, it means they're strategically planning on something bigger. I want you to truly think. My spirit has been going through this all day. And Patriot, I sent you and Alpha some people that I want you to look at of things they said today. It's not that I wanted you to think that I was following them. No, I unfollowed them. I want you to pay attention to what they said. And I will remember those words forever. You guys need to pay attention to who is against everything that President Trump is trying to do for your country. Thank you.
Oh, man, that was checkmate. She said that now that the Epstein case is closed, they can bring up they can get discovery, bring up new charges. Man, ooh, I got chills when she said that. No, did they mention that in the other spaces, you guys? Yeah, that's an excellent point right there. But did they say that in those other spaces? Is what I'm trying to figure out. Did they calculate?
Not at all, Patriot. I listened in the tunnels. Not at all.
No way. They were dogging. I mean, you would really believe something. They were dogging Trump.
Actively doing anything. He's always.
Yeah, man, you say that this was more so like, it's not like I'm disappointed that Trump don't lose from certain kids, but you said this is more so a hit job again on the Trump administration, and it's massively huge from what we've seen.
100% pay attention to every single person that used to say, this is my president no matter what, and has gone back on their words. Pay very, very close attention to every single person. And if you hear Steve Bannon say one thing about this, he better watch it, because he's the one that recorded 15 hours of Epstein to ready him for an interview with the TV stations. So let me tell you, you hear something from Steve Bannon, he is a complete and utter hypocrite.
Yeah, and a lot of these guys are gray hats. I think, the Trump administration, the fact that all the gray badges are being quiet, and I told them, and I'm going to double down and quadruple down now, it's a psyop. This whole thing with the Epstein thing, it's a psyop, but it's still true, right? They're doing these operations to bring people out of the shadows, to reveal to the entire public who the fake media is every time. I'm not lying to y'all. I mean, y'all see the example right there. Like, why are they attacking me so bad? That's one of the meeting posts. Like, why are you attacking me so bad just for saying that? They act like I told their grandma to go die, right? And why did this all of a sudden surface right after Trump signed the big beautiful bill? See how this works? They went from one thing to the next. This was strategically done. And the fact that the gray badges are being quiet right now, you guys, they're about to drop something huge. They're about to. And I'm telling you right now, bro. Remember what Dan Bongino said? He said, don't confuse, don't think because you don't see it happening that it's not happening. Watch what's about to happen.
Patriot, I have a clip. Can I send it to someone that can play it?
Yeah.
This came out today. It's a really, really big deal. It says, call it. Oh, yeah, thank you, Scorpio. It says, just in, former CIA officer John Kiriakou claims the deep state likely destroyed the Epstein documents long before Kash Patel and Dan Bongino got to FBI. I'm not blaming the FBI Director Kash Patel nor the Deputy Director Dan Bongino. I think that the layer beneath them
that's part of what we like to call the deep state, has taken this bull by the horns, and they probably destroyed the information. That came out today.
We have it all.
Yep.
So we have it all through the military. There's something called military intelligence. This is why Trump activated our military, because most judges, the State Department of New York, are involved in Epstein. They're involved in child trafficking. So they're never going to prosecute themselves. So in January, when Trump activated every single branch of our military, it was for our country. It was to secure our borders. Why? You see all the judges that have put in 170 lawsuits against Trump, trying to prevent him from deporting 50 million migrants.
These guys are gonna be proven so wrong once again. And you know what? I'm getting to that point where I ain't even about to shadow box with none of these people. I'm gonna post the stuff I post, and they're gonna argue with themselves in my comment section, and I'm gonna double down and post another. You're mad at me. You first off, you come to my page and follow me. Know I support Trump. Never curb. And then when you get the post that I posted, you see what I'm posting in support of Trump, you get mad and come to the comment section. You guys are making my engagement really a lot. And I really do appreciate you. I mean, it's really helping a lot, but good grief. I'm very, you don't know how many people talking, they just sitting back and watching right now. Even the ones that's in you guys' space, they're watching you guys. And a lot of them DM me, asking me what I think, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to tell them anything. I want them to see. This ain't about what Patriot think alone. What do y'all see right now? People were literally cheering on that the Axios thing was like correct, just to take a shot at Trump. They don't want to address the FBI docs that, you know, we got about the human trafficking operations. They never post about the kids. Rarely. The only time they're talking about anything having to do with the kids is Epstein. And why are they talking about the Epstein stuff? To bash the guy doggone Trump administration. You understand? So this is what I'm, you know, what I be talking about. And if you're in the tunnels listening to me, you can keep talking about me personally, but guess what I'm gonna do in the morning? Hey, look, I keep telling y'all, I'm a troll. You know, I troll things sometimes. I'm trolling the truth right now. So if you're dumb enough to come to my post and you know I'm trolling and I'm telling you I'm trolling, look at your IQ. Let's see how smart you guys are. I mean, it's like I threw out a net to get a bunch of shrimps, and I got it. It's like, look, you guys, all of them came to my one post and showed themselves, and I didn't say one word to them. Why are y'all so bad? You all right? You on your period? You okay? You're mad because Trump is congratulating his DOJ for actually busting human traffickers, but you care about the children? What? So none of these people on this post can no longer say that they care about the children, in my opinion, because, I mean, they are busting criminals and getting drug dealers and pedophile rings off the street. That's not a lie what he said, so why are you mad? Oh, come on my post again. Keep coming on my post so I can show everybody what y'all do. I mean, I was in shock when I looked at how much engagement it was getting. I'm like, good grief. So the algorithm allowed Trump to trend in a bad light today, basically. That's what happened. If you posted about Trump today, you got slammed. Like, it's like, oh, hate Trump Day, National Hate Trump Day. Like he just didn't sign the best bill he ever signed. Go ahead, Corbin. Then we got Adam. Then we got Mr. Simon.
All right, no, really quick. I just want to say this, you know, and you got to look at it like this. This is what I see. They're going to get really comfortable. You know, these people are going to get really comfortable, and they're going to read that memo, and they're going to read stuff. They're going to say, oh, and they're going to watch, and they're going to start showing their color, and they're going to get really loose, and they're going to trip, okay, and they're going to make mistakes. And then that's when you're going to go in. You never... Nobody, I hope not, okay? Because I mean, listen, I was in mixed martial arts since I was 3 years old till I was, I don't know, almost 30, and I taught it and everything. The point being is I never allowed my enemy to know I was going to strike if I needed to strike. I mean, that was the dumbest thing I would do. So honestly, I didn't strike anyways. I just defended myself. That's what I took it for. But the point being is, I just really want everyone in here to don't go to those spaces. Don't waste your time. You can take that time and put it towards doing some research, right? And looking into how many, and children, when we say we're protecting the children, when they take murderers off the street, and when they take, drug cartel and drug dealers off the street, that's saving the children. Okay, that's part of saving the children, because our neighborhoods aren't infested with murderers and drug dealers anymore, right? Because our children, I know children at 12 years old addicted to drugs. That is sickening. So it's time for them to go. Please go do your research. Patriot, it's always a pleasure. Everyone, please go down to the bottom, to the little pill, click on it, purple pill, and please like and repost it out. And Patriot, haters will be haters. I was threatened today, and in my DMs, and someone, a troll or whatnot, said that he was going to rape and kill me. And so the FBI got involved, and they went into my account with me, and they got all the information. So look, it's about the fact of the matter that I am a female and I will not bend. Okay, so know this: whoever wants to threaten me, please do. Bring it, bitch. Because I'm telling you, I will die on this hill for these children. I will fight for the children to the end of times. So I promise you, you will not like what this Southern girl has to offer when you come her way. She has been very well trained, and she knows how to take care of multiple, and she will. Okay? So, anyways, be careful before you step. And I'm gonna keep in this fight. No worries.
And by the way, just to co-sign Carmen, we're nice. Okay, I'm just gonna say this outright. Okay, we're very nice, noble people. Trust me, we are. We can get down dirty too. Trust me, we can. We had a chance to, but we didn't. Because we got respect for people, even if they don't have it for us. You know what I'm saying? So whatever any individual think they have on me, I have 10 times more on you. I really do. I have. Listen, we got a team, and I'm just gonna keep it 100 with you. You're not. No matter how many IP addresses you use, no matter whatever, you just be kept walk lightly, because it get real. To whom said it? Nah, for real, y'all need to listen to this. It get real out here. You playing. You go around here, you say clown stuff, and just because Patriot getting quiet don't mean I'm scared or anything like that. That means we're not. Now we're looking into you. You've made me suspicious enough to look in. It's not. I'm serious. And what I uncovered about a lot of stuff now is that, bro, some of these accounts better keep my name out their mouth. Like, I'm sparing y'all. I'm telling you. I'm sparing you right now. I'm literally, like, honestly, taking the high route, because there's no point in even mentioning your name right now. But you keep playing these little games and keep listening in the tunnels and doing all the little stuff, thinking you're untouchable and untrackable and untraceable, but you can track me down and trace me down. Bro, our hackers are hacking your hackers. Trust me, at all times. We got detectives in this space. We got FBI, good and bad. Got ex-CIA. We got military personnel. Y'all don't even know who I'm talking to in my DMs about y'all and who y'all actually are and what y'all doing. Like, y'all have no clue. So stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't gonna even engage with y'all right now, but y'all gonna keep putting yourself out in the spotlight, and you gonna mess around and find out real soon that it get real corny. Didn't we just have the opportunity to literally, like, expose somebody, and we didn't? We We could, and I'm not talking about fake exposure. We ain't talking about fabricate no documents and no. Again, I had asked individuals to show us their criminal background, and I'll do mine too. We can do that. And when I say show your criminal background, that means I kind of know a thing or two about a couple people on here that try to act and pretend like they're tough, right? And you've been having a lot of people dig into y'all because y'all are weird. You're weird. You don't care about no children. You don't. You're over here talking all this noise, save the children, and then you're trying to grift it and create a movement off of false narratives, trying to go against the administration and actually put action towards saving the children, exposing the people that had something to do with it, and bringing them to justice. Well, we supposed to listen to Axios and CNN and MSNBC now? Like, do you think I'm stupid? You guys that are going against Trump right now, you're siding with the establishment. Your hate for Trump and all that you're doing, the money that you're being paid to do what you're doing, you're going against your own country right now. I want y'all to know it. And I think it's a game right now. I think it's funny. But I'm going to keep posting my posts and people are going to see who y'all are because I'm dry y'all out. I'm going to make y'all so irrelevant because I'm not going to say your name no matter what you do. Why in the heck would you host this space and say my name right now? I didn't say nothing to you. I didn't do nothing to you. I didn't say nothing. I'm just supporting my president like I've been doing. If you don't like it, unfollow me, block me. Why can't they just press the block button? I don't get it. They get so mad at us.
Oh, my head. That's interesting. No, Patriot, they want to know what you're doing. They envy you. They want to know. It's called jealousy. Poor, pitiful deal. And you know what? Hey, haters make you famous, so keep going. Keep doing it.
Perfect, Carmen. I was gonna say something to Patriot. I was gonna say play ahead over. You've been found.
That's loud, squirt. My ears are busted right now. I'm getting a little low right now. I'm gonna be 37 soon. My ears are getting low. But you can play it later. I'll let you play it later. Okay. Anyway, as I was saying. Yeah, which people don't even follow the Homeland Security page. They don't follow the U.S. government pages. They don't really do the actual work because I think they're so lazy and they so badly want to work with narratives. I got a homework assignment for everybody. So all the people that are in my comment section on that post, right? Just go look at their page real quick and see if they have anything about saving the children. Just show me real quick. And show me something pro-Trump that they've ever posted. Right? Also do that. And what you're gonna find is your most Jews, most likely you're gonna see that they've been anti-Trump since he got in there, and they haven't posted nothing about the children, and they haven't posted nothing positive about the country since. So what are we dealing with here? Is this something much more detailed and sinister? Is this a coordinated attack? Or are we pulling out the swarm creatures? I'm gonna continue to post. I mean, I like it. When you mother lovers come on my wall, I'm just gonna look at it and I'm gonna make another post. I'm gonna look at it loud and make another post. And some of you influencers, you better keep it friendly. We got checkmate with some of you. I'm telling you. We got checkmate. Don't give me the silence, the weakness now. We got checkmate. I'm waiting on you to make a move. I called out one of them. Anyway, I'll land right there. I was told not to get engaged and stuff like that. We're actually not going to engage in it.
Hey, I need Alpha to slow down next time he comes in this room, something like that. Because I swear to God, he came in here so fast and come up straight up to this thing. I was like, Jesus Christ, Alpha, slow your ass down. You can't be coming up here like that, Alpha. I mean, we're on a little bit of edge right now. You come flying up in here, bebopping through everybody, knocking people down. I was like, what the hell's going on?
Real quick, before we move on, I I do want to hear from Malcolm. Then got Mr. Silent, and then Adam.
Don't forget me, man.
No, yeah, Mr. Adam and then Mr. Silent. I think it's one of y'all two. But Adam, real quick, let me ask Output a question. So we played your post Output, and I couldn't agree with you more, but I was playing phone up today. I just wanted to laugh with you and be like, look at these mother out, look at this crap. They have gotten so desperate, bro, that you don't even have to talk about their grandma or their mom. Some people, you can talk about their grandma right now, and they'll excuse that to mess with you about Trump. They'll be like, oh, cool, you talk about my grandma.
Your mama.
But Trump, you know, you can pretty much kick their grandma in the butt right now, and they won't pay attention to it because they're so busy worried about Trump now. And I couldn't agree more with what you said in that post. And I tell you, it's amazing how when you post something pro-America now, and it does go viral, all the little rats and snakes come out. They all come out. But go ahead, what are your thoughts, man? I definitely would love to hear from you, man, and glad you was able to show up. I did blow your phone up. I think I caught it like 3 times. I just wanted to laugh with you. That was it. Nothing important. Go ahead, bro.
No, man. I wanted to take the calls, and you can imagine I was on a lot of calls, a lot of Zooms, a lot of things today with people. You know, just trying to, you know, to deal with what was unfolding. I've been in a lot of spaces, you know, trying to, you know, help, you know, control the chaos and put out the artificial fires. And I always like to save this one to close the night out on. A, because I know you guys are locked in and squared away here. And 2, you know, it's nice to, you know, in your shift on the way home. I always consider this space, you know, one of the home runs, just so everybody knows. Listen, you won't ever really find me talking about dragons. Why? Because they're not real. They have no impact. Why? Why are there certain spaces that just cannot keep Q out of their mouth?
I believe in dragons.
And there's a red dragon. That's another story. Why do people in spaces continue to keep Q in their mouth if it's a LARP and it's not true? Because they fear. They absolutely fear. You know, somebody put out a post today. I'm not sure if it was Jenny or who. And it was actually a repost of somebody else's, and it said something, went off memory here, so forgive me if I butcher it, somebody can correct me, but it said, if in the end it turns out that Q is fake, and I supported it, something that was pushing against the deep state, pushing against human trafficking and child trafficking, then I'm still proud of what I supported. But if in the end it turns out Q was real, then you're gonna have a lot to answer for, because your opposition helped the deep state that did child trafficking and satanic occultism and tried to destroy humanity. And I thought that was an interesting perspective. As far as, you know, the information that I've been putting out there, it's just to kind of help everybody kind of refocus and look at the perspective of, you know, what's happening. There's a lot of people. I'm actually working, you know, since I did a series post, so I'm kind of working on a quasi-humorous post that's going to be coming out here in the next 30 minutes or so, and I think you guys will enjoy it. It's, even though it's humorous, it's actually, there's an article that I've been writing about. I actually talked about it in an interview that I did with Jenny, about the different types of influencers that are out there. Well, this is kind of a parody of that, but there's still some legitimacy to it, just to get people to talk about it and recognize the different types of assets that are in this sphere. But I would just say this, if anybody went to look at the boards today, there's no posts for July company said was loud, and there's other people that are saying that it was perfect. And what I'm starting to see is people that play it through phone. But if you have the ability to play it through a computer,
It'll probably be the same because I'm playing it in space. Like playing it on phone and listening it to myself, I think will be fine. But just in the space, it was. They told me Patriot needed me, and I have like wide spectrum on it.
Yeah, I can always connect the soundboard and do it for you guys if you guys want to hear it.
Yeah.
Or you could just give us a summary of what you were saying in real time.
I mean, if you read, if well, we read articles. Who put out those articles? The media. Well, we saw autopsy reports. Who disclosed those? Government. Well, so the very institutions that we say are corrupt are the very institutions that provided the information and curated, the information that we finally came to our assessment on. And now you have, bring it into, modern, conversations of, you can say 2016 or 2020 to the day. I've done my own research. I know what's going on. I formed this assessment off of what? Media, books, articles, documentaries, the internet, Substacks, everything outside of independent conversations of people involved. This is all stuff that, again,